These 7 business ideas are going to be the best ways to escape your 9 to 5 in 2025 and beyond. Stay tuned to the end of the video because some of these are going to shock you. You've probably never heard of them, and this is a custom list that is a debrief from Black Educators Amplified and some of the clients we've been serving in the marketing agency Tiffy G Writes. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tiffany G, co-founder of Black Educators Amplified, founder of a 9-year-old digital marketing agency, Tiffy G Writes, serving over 230 different clients, mainly in real estate and finance, but also in the service-based industry. So let's talk about it. I have the first one for you, the first online consulting business model, which is super popular because a lot of us are in HR. There's a lot of need for small businesses to master HR. You know, a small business may be hiring contractors. They may have 1 or 2 employees and they need an HR consultant. And on the flip side, a career coach to come in and advise the people on their team, help them make standard operating procedures. Now, this can work in a variety of different ways. I just told you, you can take it from the standpoint of providing HR consulting, but it can also be like motivational, inspirational career coaching, where you're hosting these virtual and in-person workshops, and then you have a consulting-based education consultant business model. Career coaching and HR consulting are some of the top industries that I've seen. We've had clients come to us for Tiffy G Writes that are career consultants that have packaged up their specific area of expertise, not just hiring, but really educating job seekers on how to find high caliber jobs. This is going to be extremely needed with all the layoffs, but I think what I would do if I were you, I would take a deep look at the market and I would start to train people on how to become a freelancer, how to create a portfolio, what to look for, how to still find inspiration when they're looking for both a W-2 job, a freelance contract, or as a second one, how to actually hire people in a small business. Offices like a dental office could use this. A wellness spa could use this. Think about some of your local mom and pop shops around you. Again, stay to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a local tip to help you build your online business as quickly as possible so you can get the heck out of America if that's your goal. By the way, I've been outside of America for 5 years. It'll be 5 years in August. I traveled East Africa. Now I'm in Mauritius, and it's possible without going back and forth because I started my online business and I did it in a sustainable way where I keep profit first. That's a book by, oh man, who's that book by? You're gonna have to look it up. Profit First. It's a wonderful book. But this is how we build sustainable companies. So not just hiring and acquiring all these business vanity things for no reason, but really looking at what's going to make sense from a profitable standpoint. Only investing in things that are going to drive the needle. For an online business, for any business, the main thing that drives the needle is investing in how you speak to your audience, which is messaging, okay? Number 2, let's talk about reading literacy. We've had a whole lot of clients, about half our clients who come in to Black Educators Amplified, they are reading and literacy consultants. There's a huge gap right now. I was talking to a friend the other day who's in New Jersey, and she was telling me she decided to volunteer at her children's school. She was like, oh, it'll probably be nice and fun, and she quickly found out that it is a headache, it's horrible, it's going not well at all. There are children in the classroom that cannot speak. There's children in the classroom with a lot of behavioral issues. And instead of pulling these children aside, it really slows down the rest of the class. And so it's no wonder America has declining literacy rates when you have things like this happening in the classroom. But luckily for you, this is where you can come in for those parents who actually care about their children's education. I know my family, my husband and I, we are like that. We are so big on literacy because literacy is the foundation of everything. I know they push STEM, science, technology, and all these things, but really literacy is the foundation of everything that you do in life. And so you are able to find clients who understand that and have that same value of you if you're willing to show up online and articulate your expertise to them. They will find you. They are out there. How do I know? Because I'm one of them. Number 3, health and wellness consulting. As someone that used to be in healthcare, I'll tell you a short origin story. I used to work in mental health, and it was my dream job because I love mental health. I love psychology, all the things. and it was in Columbus. I was working night shift. I wanted to work night shift because I had children. I wanted to spend time with them. I didn't want to do like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I wanted to try 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., okay? And so I would do night shift. And while I was doing night shift, some clients would be on like watch, where you have to go in and you have to stay in the room with them and you have to watch them. And so when we would have these clients, I would take some printer paper, I would get my pen, and I would write out my business plan. I'd write out my business plan on paper in a mental institute, working night shift, because I knew I didn't want to be there forever. I knew healthcare was great. You know, I had some wonderful times. I entered in healthcare when I was 16. I left my regular high school to go to an advanced career school and ended up getting my dream healthcare job at 17 years old. Made it to states and all of these things for medical terminology. I absolutely loved healthcare, but when I turned 21 and my father passed away, I was like, you know what, I've had enough of healthcare. I know I seem really young, but you know, I'd entered that field so early, and so I got a good like 5 to 7 years in healthcare where I was like, hey, I'm kind of tired of it at this rate. I want to do something else. I quickly found out corporate America isn't for me. I got another dream job at Chase Bank. Shout out to Chase Bank in Columbus, Ohio. If you work there, fabulous campus, okay? It's fabulous. But I also found out corporate wasn't for me. I was too bored sitting at the desk answering fraud calls about people. They're like, oh, my card's been frauded and all this stuff. And I was just like, I need to get back in my business and focus on my business. And that's what I did, and I haven't looked back ever since. Working with mentors, teaching myself through education, books, teaching myself through A/B testing, and just being willing to fail on purpose, fail as quickly as possible so I can learn from it and book more clients. But one of the main things I did, and I'm gonna get to number 3 soon, health and wellness consultant, but one of the main things I did in those beginning seasons, I would go out, this was back when I was doing social media marketing, social media management. I would go out in Columbus, Ohio, and I would go in Facebook groups designed for specifically Columbus, Ohio, 614 Sis, What's Your Business? I don't know if it's still a group, but shout out to that group. That's where I found my first clients. And I would post my blogs in there. So I had to have a website. I knew back then, if I'm a business, I have to have a well-written website. So I learned website copy, and I learned how to properly write, and I wrote my website, I wrote my blogs, I shared my blogs in these Facebook groups. That's how I got my first 3 clients. Now, 2 of the clients I worked for free for 2 weeks. I did this because I wanted to have testimonials to make a portfolio out of to sign more clients. That's the golden ticket that you need to sign high-paying clients: a portfolio, testimonials, blog. That's it. That's the portfolio that you need to sign clients. Because when you have a blog, especially a well-written one by an excellent writer, man, you just come out as somebody that's willing to go above and beyond other people. People read the blog, they see those quick tips, and they see the blog is 1,000 to 1,500 words, walking them through the process from where they are right now to where they want to be, how to get there, how to do Instagram marketing, hashtag research, location tagging, captions, copywriting. That's what one of the blogs was about. And she was like one of my first big paid clients, $500 a month back then. I was like, oh, this is okay. Get to run her social media. And it was a finance firm. Back then, finance. Finance has been chasing me and pursuing me for years now. But it was a finance firm. And so I went ahead and worked with her, and it was a fantastic experience. We are still in contact to this day. But I'm saying this so that you know how to make quick, actionable steps to sign clients, because you can get clients in the next 90 days if, caveat, you do the work. Back to this third one, health and wellness consultant. High level. So we've had a few consultants come in the program, a functional medicine specialist, wonderful package. This is probably my favorite package I've seen, quite honestly, because I see so much value in it. And being in healthcare, she was already willing to niche down. Shout out to you, Happy. I see you, girl, posting on your YouTube. I see look, you get all the claps from me. Okay, you doing it, okay? But as a functional medicine specialist, this client, she knew how to niche down and only work. You would think functional medicine is niche enough. It's too generic. So not only does she do functional medicine, but she niched down and specifically provides functional medicine services for women around menopause, perimenopause time period. This is so specific. This is so niche. A lot of us who have healthcare experience find it easy to niche down and to just choose one topic. because in healthcare, everything's specialized. So I worked on a neuroscience floor in children's for years. That's highly specialized, meaning the floor would only have neuroscience patients. When you go through a hospital like Children's Hospital, everything is niche. There's a floor for physical therapy. There's a floor for rehab. There's a floor for the ICU. There's a floor for emergency services, two separate things. ICU and emergency services are two separate things. There's a floor for the neonatal intensive care unit. That's niche. That's specific. That's specific, okay? That's specific. And that's the point of this video. Like, you have to be willing to niche down. This is why it's so delightful to work with people like me who were previously in healthcare or who are still in healthcare. Another one of our clients, I'll leave it down in the description. It's on the Introvert Marketer podcast, but we actually go through the website copy for a healthcare firm. You're gonna wanna watch that episode of the Introvert Marketer podcast. It's not on video, it's audio. On Apple, iTunes, all the places podcasts can be found. You're going to want to check that out. But as I'm saying this, as I'm saying these career coach, reading, literacy, all these things, I want you to realize that you're going to have to choose a specific niche. Even with the reading and literacy one, are you going to focus on 4th grade or 7th grade? Why do I say those? Because standardized testing happens in both 4th and 2nd grade, so there's demand in the market. These are things that have to be discussed, okay? Number 4, concierge travel consultant. Now this is a huge one. We have a client who went through the program who wanted to be a travel concierge consultant. We've also worked with clients in the agency who provide concierge travel services to Zanzibar, to South Africa, to things like that. And so this is another big one that pops up, probably simply because we live in Africa and we do provide some type of traveling content to some degree. And so this is another one that pops up. But the key thing and why some of these businesses, especially the one that does South Africa and Zanzibar travel, are so successful is the message, okay? The message. You have to produce a message, website copy, sales page, emails. Do you have blogs? I suggest everybody has blogs. Every small business, especially in this day and age, that's the main way for you to differentiate yourself from generic AI content, because people don't pay high ticket for AI content. They pay high ticket for you and your specific expertise. So y'all know that AI didn't write this script. I wrote this script. I was actually up last night, up in the middle of the night. I just woke up feeling super creative. I was like, let me just write this script and get this out the way so I can film it in the morning, so I can walk and get my matcha tea later. Okay, that's how I was thinking. But seriously, non-AI regurgitated content is my area of expertise. It's such a disservice nowadays. When I look at how entrepreneurship was in 2018 when I started, 2017, and I look at it now, there's such a disservice and a lack of education. And I was watching a testimony video yesterday with Tiffany Buckner. I don't know if y'all know who she is. She was on the We Need to Talk podcast. And she was talking from a spiritual perspective, and it's the same thing I say all the time. But she was talking from a spiritual perspective, like technology is making people stupid, making people dumb, making people like, I don't need to pray, I don't need to think, I'm gonna just let AI do everything. And I say this all the time, and I literally say that it's so sad. It's good for people like you and I who actually care about client and user experience and care about humanity, but it's horrible for the small businesses that could start and get off on the right path, but will prostitute their brain to AI and a robot, thinking that the robot has more divinity than them. Now I can go on and on that topic, but that's not what this video is about. If you'd like me to go in on that topic, maybe I'll do it on members only. Next, project manager and administration. This is another huge one. I've hired project managers. I've hired online business managers who really know what they're doing, and it's one of those services that me as a creative, me as a writer, I'm not great at online business management. I'm not great at like those operational, like, oh girl, you can have these templates, so you never have to make these contracts from scratch. I'm like, I had never even thought of that. And so it completely changed our business from the AI, good deliverance, from the inside out. Having an online business manager come in back in 2020 and still using those templates, meaning I signed that contract, paid her in 2020. I still use this stuff to this day because they're fantastic standard operating procedures, meaning the value that she has brought me has spanned 5 years plus. Okay, and she taught me how to create templates and make them editable for my contracts. So when my contracts go out to my clients, I don't have to think too much. Customize it. Create these standard operating procedures. Create standard operating procedures in Canva so that a VA can come in and quickly learn your voice, quickly replicate your content, you know? And so these are some of the things that really helped us. And we had to hire somebody at that rate at that time in 2020 because we were traveling. We were on a plane. And the journey was 34 hours, so I was like, okay, somebody's gonna have to be like doing this stuff while we're taking this long journey. I know we're gonna wanna take a few weeks off, and it was just fantastic. An online business manager is always needed. If you have virtual assistant skills, administration, great organization, you know how to use tools like Trello, Asana, Monday, ClickUp, or you're willing to learn how to look into those, and I'm telling you, if you're serious about escaping your 9-to-5, look up those 4 tools. They're the most popular tools that online entrepreneurs use that are ready to pay you $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month out the gate for virtual assistants. You may see them be like, that's not specialized. Virtual assistants is so specialized, especially if you niche down and say, hey, I only work with marketers. I only work with finance. I only work with copywriters. I only work with YouTubers. I only work with podcasters. Back to the niche, right? So we have a few more. That was number 4. Number 5. Now, copywriter. That's what I am. I am a financial services copywriter. So we have copywriter and art consultant. Copywriter number 6, let's talk about it. Copywriting is the art of creating words that move people to take action. That's simple. Sometimes the action could be to download a free resource. Sometimes the action is to buy something. Sometimes the action is to like a video, to share, subscribe. But either way, you're getting people to take action, and it's going to lead to sales in one way or another. To become a copywriter, you need to know marketing. Copywriting is marketing. Freelance writing is marketing and business development. You need to be committed to learning sales engineering. You need to be committed to these things, okay? You may say, wow, how are you such a great salesperson? Because I've studied it for 9 years straight and continue to. I continue to study sales engineering, okay? Because there's always information you can learn. And as a copywriter, that the industry is ever changing. But what doesn't change about copywriting is that if you want to be successful as a freelance copywriter, you're going to have to start writing copy. Okay, you're going to have to actually write some stuff out, speak to a copywriting mentor. It doesn't have to be me. It could be any copywriting mentor that you can find. But speak to a copywriting mentor, have them critique you. I got to go through this process a gazillion times working in marketing agencies where a head copywriter, one of my favorites down in Atlanta, okay? I didn't have to leave my couch. I was in Ohio, but we still worked together. She would critique my copy and teach me how to write personality-infused copy that makes people take radical action. That's why when I write, it's so vivid. It's so personality-infused, okay? And so if you don't have those marketing agencies available, you've been applying to them or you can't find them because they're really not around like they used to be back when I first started, then you're going to want to have to pay a mentor. Again, it does not have to be me. It could be any copywriter, or at least grab the book, How to Write Copy That Makes Sales. Okay? It's a blue book. Look it up on Amazon. You'll actually see a lot of them. And start handwriting the copy. This is what I always tell people. We even have people in Black Educators Amplified doing this because every CEO, every small business needs to know how to write their own copy. That doesn't mean that you don't hire a copywriter, but if you don't know what you're looking for, how are you going to hire an expert? So copywriter, it can be done online. You're going to be writing blogs, social media captions, emails, sales pages, webinar scripts, YouTube scripts, podcast notes, all the things. You're going to write a lot of things. Ebooks. What else have I written? I've written ebooks for clients, for myself as well. I've written just about any type of content that you can think of. Over the past 9 years, I have written it as a copywriter, and I love what I do. I see for the foreseeable future that I will always be a copywriter, to be honest. I look at one of the greats, Caroline, and she's a sister, actually. Another sister copywriter. I just love that. She's in her 50s. Her daughter is also a copywriter, and she's been in copywriting since the 70s. And I just see that as like such a sustainable career path, to be quite honest. Copywriting, because businesses will always need copy, especially in the age of AI, because a lot of people are coming to me right now and I'm like, man, I wish I had some educated writers on hand to just give them some of these contracts, because I can't do everything. I don't do everything. I only work with a small batch of clients at any given time, especially since we have anchor clients. But in the age of AI, a lot of businesses are seeing and putting explicitly in their content manager, copywriter positions, job descriptions, and saying, we only want to work with excellent writers. If you're just always going to write with AI, we don't want to work with you. These are high-paid copywriting positions. Why? Because businesses that love their audience, that care about the people that they're serving, are not going to feed them junk. It's just like your children. You're not going to feed your children junk food all the time if you love them, unless you're just lazy with your parenting, right? And so it's the exact same thing. A business that cares about their product, that cares about their user experience, they're not going to feed their audience AI regurgitated copy, because they know it's going to deplete their trust with that brand. Meaning their clients that they would usually have, their sales, they wouldn't be willing to even buy from them or trust them. That's why I have clients that pay $3,000, $5,000 a month for bespoke copywriting from us, from a 9-year financial services copywriter. I can train you on how to be that as well. But you have to realize this isn't the AI regurgitated table, okay? This is the table where I'm gonna have you writing actual copy. You're gonna be doing some work. That's what it takes. I mean, I remember when I first started, I would write 2,000 word blogs for these agencies and have to turn them over within 48 hours. Now, I'm a quick writer. People see me write, especially in Black Educators Amplified. They're like, how do you come up with that so fast? I'm like, if only y'all knew how much content and copy I've had to write over the past 9 years. Can you imagine a 2,000 word blog? You have to write an entire website within 72 hours that you have to turn in. Shout out to Writers Access. You know, if you are a beginning writer and you want to work in one of those agencies, they're going to work you though. You're going to learn how to write copy, and you're going to write it quickly and immaculately, and you're going to be able to find those SEO keywords extremely fast, okay? But check it out. You know, you should check it out. Try it if you're serious about copywriting. It takes work. Everything on this list takes work. I definitely want that to be said, because in the age of AI, a lot of people are like, oh, I can just like passive income this. Copywriting is not passive income. It can be once you have a sales page up, but being a business owner is very much, you're going to be working, and that should be expected. That should be good. You should love what you do. I love what I do. When I hop on calls, I'm so excited. My clients are always like, oh my gosh, you're so happy. I'm like, you don't know, this is my favorite topic. I love teaching website copy. I love teaching writing. I love teaching storytelling. I was literally the child in school, okay? In both middle, high school, all the grades, with the highest language arts rates, the highest rates for vocabulary, honors English, all the things. I loved it. The one little Black girl in the class with the highest, I was eating it up, okay? And so I'm so grateful to the Most High that I get to do this, like, forever, literally, okay, until I'm not on this earth anymore. And so number 7 is the art consultant / author workshops. You can do this. Now, this comes from my mom. My mom loves art. Like, she's a true artist. Like, when I say artist, like, makes pottery, makes vases by hand. Like that's her thing. Like, she does excellent pottery by hand, no molds, none of that. Like, she's the real deal. Maybe that's also why I'm so serious about authentic creativity, because I've seen her when I grew up doing that authentically and always saying like, yeah, I do this by hand. I don't do any molds. I don't do any of that other stuff. I'm the real deal type of thing. And she is. And so what she would do, because she loved art and she didn't have to, my father worked full-time. He provided everything, okay? But she also just loved art. She was a stay-at-home mom that also just loved art. And so on the weekends, she would go to nursing homes. She would sign contracts with these nursing homes. Somebody write this down. If you love art, I don't know why you're still playing around. She would sign these contracts with these nursing homes. They would pay her in full. They didn't do PayPal back then. It was just a check in the mail, you know, that they would give to her, or they would just give her the check on the spot. She would come in and do art workshops with senior living facilities, hundreds of dollars, because you have 10 senior citizens in this wealthy senior living facility. These people without an artist coming in, without a contract consultant coming in, they're just sitting there all day. How do I know? Because I used to work in a nursing home. They just sit there all day and they just look around. They just sit. And, you know, the aides are too busy. You can't blame them. The nurses are too busy. The families are working their 9-to-5s. So they're just sitting there all day with nobody to really talk to. Maybe the TV's on. Half of them can't really hear the TV. So she understood that she had this entire market here. She carved her own market and saw a need, a gap in nursing homes, and said, oh, I can provide that, knowing the patients in the nursing home wouldn't be paying for it, but the nursing home, who has a high budget because they charge out the wazoo. If you didn't know, they charge like crazy for them folks to be in them nursing homes. And so it's like, oh yeah, we can provide this top tier experience, okay? And like the Bexley Sunrise, I don't even remember the rest of them because we lived in Bexley, Ohio, okay? K through 12, but at some of these different nursing homes that were nearby in like Reynoldsburg, Blacklick, Bexley, Whitehall, all the things, Gahanna, and she would do it on the weekends. And this was a full-time income. I kid you not. This was a full-time income because it's group consulting, group coaching. If the patients in the nursing home, if you can charge, you know, $200 per ticket, $100 per ticket, and 8 people sign up, that's an $800 day. Is it not? That's an $800 day. And you're staying with them for about 3 hours? What? And then not only did she do that, but the actual art itself, pottery, she would sell that to rich people in our Ashkenazi Jewish community. Like, to the, what do you call those people? Good deliverance. To the deacon, or no, not deacon, I'm thinking about the church, man. The dean of Capital University in Bexley, Ohio. Sell pottery, thousands of dollars off rip. So as a child, I was used to this luxury market, this luxury, like, oh, you can provide top tier luxury service to luxury minded people that luxury minded want to throw you the cash because they see value in what you do. But unless you see the value in what you do, you're not going to be willing to do it. And so you have to decide if you see the value in what you do. You have to decide, like, and don't go to markets where people don't have money. It's that simple. Don't do that. Go to the markets where they do have money, because there's money all over the place on earth. It's not, you're not in a desert, you know. There's money all across this earth, everywhere, flowing everywhere, running into my bank account, could be running to your bank account. And so it's like, there's so many options for you to escape your 9-to-5. I just wanted to tell you a few of my favorite ones, and I know those were so specific and so like niche and like, oh, these are different, because I gave you a few case studies that you can look at. If you like this content, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, but also tune into the Black Educators Amplified playlist. We've opened up Cohort 6 of Black Educators Amplified. It begins April 27th. It's an 8-week cohort. It's group coaching, so we have some one-to-one sessions. We've been doing one spot left on those, but we're also opening up Cohort 6, which is group coaching. Ideal for you if you need accountability, you don't want to be alone, you really want to talk to other people, you want to have a community around you, because business is communal. Business requires humanity to be around you, to give you ideas. That's my favorite things about the cohorts. I have my things I like about one-to-one. People typically share a little more, but the thing I like about group consulting and group coaching with you guys is that like others will chime in, and it'll just be such a great atmosphere that we're able to create virtually, and maybe one day in person. You know, I live in Mauritius, Africa. Maybe I could invite some of y'all out or something like that, you know. But check out the links in the description if you would like to apply for either of those. Binge the Black Educators Amplified playlist. Check out the Introvert Marketer podcast. We have lots of content for you to binge, and you need to be thinking, if you're serious about leaving your 9-to-5 in 2025, you also need to be thinking about how to leave behind a bingeable portfolio body of work the same way that we do. Okay, shalom, shalom, many blessings, abundance, peace, prosperity, clarity to you on your journey. You've got this. You just got to make the first move, okay? Shalom, shalom.